Hey everyone, Rogue Leader here, back with another video, and today we will be taking a look at a set from 2020 that is set 75290 Moss Eisley Cantina for ages 18 and up with 3,187 pieces and 21 minifigures. We're going to be finding out if the $400 price tag on this set is worth it. Personally, I'm just going to tell you right now, I think it is, but after this review, you'll be able to make up your own mind. Now, it does include 21 minifigures, several of them being repeats from past Moss Eisley Cantinas, several of them being repeats from just general sets, and several of them being brand new minifigures, with a few of them having new molds as well. The Moss Eisley Cantina, you have the main build, two smaller buildings, as well as two speeders and one dewback. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a look at them, starting with the minifigures. So yeah, let's go take a look. Our first of the 21 minifigures are two very common minifigures, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke Skywalker. Very standard minifigures, nothing that we haven't seen for the past about decade, although the Obi-Wan, I believe this version started coming out maybe 2019, and this set being from 2020, this minifigure at this point is only about a year old, but has still come in a fair share of sets. The Luke Skywalker is just your traditional Luke with the carry-down print, blue lightsaber, the newer Luke Skywalker hairpiece, and then in the back we have a smile to him. For Obi-Wan Kenobi, we have just the standard blue lightsaber and brown hood and cape. I do wish they would go back to the 2014 to 2017 version where he actually had the printed robes, because I find that to be just much more accurate than the cape, even if the cape gives a more classic look. That's just my personal opinion. Kind of like what they did with the Obi-Wan and the Obi-Wan Jedi Starfighter from 2022, and of course the older Obi-Wan from 2014 to 2017, I believe. But yeah, all in all, great. Of course, Obi-Wan does not have a secondary print, but yeah. Next, we have Han Solo and Chewbacca, two very, very cool minifigures that we've been getting for many, many years. Han Solo, of course, with the gun holster printing, the vest, and the kind of little cutout on his shirt where you can see part of his skin. Unfortunately, this tends to be a problem where when they try and print onto black, it tends to be a bit more washed and faded. So still seeing that problem here. Han Solo, of course, has the new hairpiece, and then the stern expression, and then the happy expression, and his just standard pistol. Chewbacca over here has his nice bow rifle that with the projectile that we've been getting for quite some time now. Of course, you just lift it up and then push the gray thing, and the red stud goes flying. And it's one of the few weapons that I think just looks better with the projectile actually loaded. But the rest of Chewbacca is all the same. Next up, we have C-3PO, R2-D2, and they're the exact same as we've been getting in this time. So obviously this came out in 2020, which is before R2-D2 started getting back printing, and C-3PO, of course, does not have the dual molded leg that they introduced for Luke's land speeder. Let's see, 2022 was that? So yeah, but still great minifigures. Here we have the two Sand Troopers included in the set, being the Sand Trooper on the left and the Sand Trooper Commander or Squad Leader on the right. The only two distinctions between these minifigures are the commas or the pauldrons on their neck. Of course, the Squad Leaders being orange and the other one being just standard black. You'll see that they both have the printed sand detail as well as the black ammo pelts on their top left shoulder. And they both also come with their blaster and a set of binoculars, as well as each of them having the exact same backpack. And then, of course, they do both have unique heads. So, yeah. Then we have the three Biff musicians, and all three of them are exactly the same from the print, the head mold, everything. Great minifigures. These are the exact same that were released in 2014, I believe it was. But yeah, we get three of them in this set. I think there were more than just three in the band, but maybe I'm wrong. It was just three. I can't remember. Haven't watched A New Hope in a long time. But the only difference is their accessories. You can see they all have different stuff going on for different Star Wars instruments. But yeah, very cool. And here's a quick look at the back. Our next two minifigures are Woohair, which I believe I'm pronouncing right, and Greedo. Both are the exact same minifigures that appeared in the 2018 like $30-$40 Moss Eisley Cantina. If you want to see a review of that, I do have one up. But yeah, Great minifigures. Love the Greedo minifigure. Would have loved some arm printing maybe because, of course, you know, way back when the original one came back and out in the early 2000s, Greedo did have arm printing. Would have loved to see that. But all around great Greedo minifigure, and the Woo here, you know, just standard civilian minifigure, so it doesn't need anything too special. He does, however, have a secondary face, just being a little more angry, telling C-3PO and R2-D2 to get out of his bar. So yeah. But two very good minifigures, just Greedo could have used that arm printing. Moving on to some exclusive minifigures, we have Ponda Baba on the left in the nice orange jacket and nice brand new mold for this set. And Dr. Evazon, I feel like I'm pronouncing that wrong. Correct me in the comments how it's pronounced. But the Doctor, in both of them, very cool minifigures. Of course, this guy on the left, Ponda Baba, loses his hand, or maybe it's his whole arm by Obi-Wan Kenobi in the bar. But yeah, all great minifigures. This one, of course, has a brand new custom molded head, and then this one has a dual-sided face with the more concerned look over here and a more angry, disturbed look over here. And there's also a look at the backs of the minifigures. These two minifigures' names are quite hard to pronounce, but we're going to give it a shot. On the left, in the orange skin and the horns, we have Labria, and on the right, we have Rekek Cal Foss. I definitely butchered both those names, but they're background characters, and it's in Star Wars. They're going to have some pretty interesting names. But do love on the right the Bosk head mold for the Trandoshan recolored in that kind of more sandish, yellowish, tan type color. And then on the left, also love that, I forget the species name, but the horns and the pointy ears. I believe this type of species was also seen in The Mandalorian. And then you actually can't really see it, but this guy does have a secondary face where he's just more kind of more like has more of a stoic look, I guess. And then this is actually a rubber piece because it's just got some pointy stuff on it. But yeah, very cool minifigures. Oh, and here's a backside look at this guy. Nothing interesting. Here we have two more minifigures that I'm going to get the names wrong. On the left, we have Moma Nadin, or Nadon, and on the right, we have Cabe. Very much like these minifigures. I believe Cabe on the right is the very first alien species we see in Mos Eisley. I could be wrong about that, but love the use of the Man-Bat earpiece that was introduced for DC. At least I think it was introduced for DC. And then we have the kind of just the snout, and then also actually no secondary face. I thought he had one, but no. And then we have this guy, very cool head mold. I forget the species name, but very nice. And I also love the nice little toe printing. And our last two minifigures are on the left, the standard Jawa that comes in most sets, most Tatooine sets. Nothing special about him. And on the right, we have the character that the set calls Garindan, which I guess maybe is his actual name. Of course, most people just know him as the Imperial Spy. So, I mean, that's what I call him, the Imperial Spy. But, you know, very cool. Love the neck attachment and then the use of the hood with the open bottom, so it actually fits with the hood. And then, of course, he has the cape. And here's a look at the back. And then one thing also to notice is just that I like that they're continuing to use the standard, more traditional Star Wars hood for Jawas. Just kind of cool. And just a neat little thing that they're still using both hoods in conjunction with each other. But yeah, very cool minifigures, and that is all 21 of them. Quite a lot, but you know, it is quite the big set with a lot of cool features. So yeah, let's take a look at some of the side builds. Our first side build is a dewback. Of course, what we see most sand troopers riding in on this location in Tatooine. So what you can do is you can take your trooper and the dewback saddle comes with a few clips that you can just put in here, and then you can take their, I don't know what this is. It kind of, maybe it's like, it reminds me of those things like people who walk on thin wires use to like balance themselves out. So maybe it's so they don't fall off, I guess. I have no idea. But yeah, he can just hold that, and then you can also just put the saddle right down there. May get him to try and hold it, and then I did just replace the clip that was holding this with holding the blaster. And then his mouth, the dewback's mouth should move if I can get it there. There we go. So yeah, you can get it to move. Love the eye print, the scale detail, and then you can also got some teeth printing in there. No teeth up top though. And then something that's very cool that they did is that if you choose to maybe make this more of a wandering do-back and not necessarily something somebody's writing, you can. It's a little difficult, and sometimes it comes off like that, but let's see if I can get the entire piece out. There we go. You can take the entire thing off, and they include a just a small build to make it finish out his back, and then you can take that off and you have more of just a standard wandering do-back, not necessarily been ridden by any troopers or anything. So yeah. Our two other modes of transportation in the set are the Ubrikian 9000 on the left, which, if we take a look at it first, is we also saw this in the I believe 2018 Mos Eisley Cantina. Very, very similar build, almost identical, just I think without a stud shooter. I believe that one had a stud shooter, but you can it has tons of stickers going around, little red, white, and blue, but you can lift up the thing, and you got a little cockpit that you can go ahead and stick a minifigure in, just like so, and they can pilot it, I guess. I don't know. This is a pretty weird looking speeder, but yeah. The much more sleek and, in my opinion, better one is the V35 land speeder. So yeah, got some nicely built engines and stuff in the back. Very nice. I love the shaping and the just almost completely studless look, besides the few studs up here. But you can also, same as the other one, take your minifigures, and I actually don't know if he'll fit with his neck. He will not. We'll need to get a different minifigure. So let's try him. Yeah, he should fit. There we go, just like so. He just kind of fits in there. You have to lay him quite far down, and then you also can put someone up top. Both you can see with a cool little custom individual sticker panel. So that one has some more like controls, whereas this one has like a kind of like a heads-up display almost of the terrain. Very cool. And yeah, that's about it. No like stud shooters or anything. Not that this needs it, but yeah. Moving on, we have the Jawa's, I guess, junk shop, junk store, junkyard, whatever you want to call it. But I believe these are both belonging to the Jawa. I could be slightly wrong on that. But these actually do split apart right here. You can see there's just two clips on either side, and they just go together, and then you can unclip them pretty easily. Now over here, we got just some random tools and assortments of stuff. And then this whole thing opens up. Again, got those clips holding it together. And you can see that there's a bit of an interior with some clips, mug, random bin, broom, you got a blaster, and then you got a little seat for the Jawa. So you can, I assume the clip is for his gun. So you put that in there, and then you can put the Jawa up there like that. And then you can see him through the shack, just, you know, trying to get his money's worth and trying to, I guess, sell you some stuff. And then in the back you have this really cool doors design where it comes up from the top, and then there's actually some studs in here, and then the bottom of the stud, so the, I guess, anti-stud, will lock into a stud up here, so you can actually, oh, I just broke the door. All right, I fixed it. So you can just push this up, and there's a stud that it connects to, and it kind of just holds the door up, so you can have your hands free and you can make people go through in and out if that's what you wish to do. And there's actually several of these throughout the whole set. And then over to this one, we have just a simple entrance, no door of any sorts, just an open entrance. We got a barrel or a crate with some gears in it, more gears over here. You can see it's very junk shoppy with just different parts sprued about. And then you can flip it around, and you got an interior, and then you can also lift these two different parts up. So over here we got a mug, a shovel, some binoculars, and some other kind of junk. And then over here we have a crystal that actually I think goes in there, that seems to have fallen out, crowbar, and more of like just a workshop area type thing for the Jawa, I guess. But yeah, both these go very simply back on top, and again they just kind of connect over here just like so. But yeah, that's the rest of the side builds. Let's look at the actual Mos Eisley Cantina. All right, so this thing is an absolute behemoth. So we're gonna go through the outside first, do a whole 360, go over all the details, and then we'll take a look at the inside. So starting off over here by the door, So this is, of course, the main entrance to Mos Eisley. It's the exact same door that I just showed you, just a little bit bigger, just because it's a main entrance. But you just pull this up, and it stays up. So yeah. And then we have some, I believe the language is called Arabic, but got those letters. I assume they spell out Cantina. And then we also have the control panel right there. Kind of get a little zoom in, but yeah. And then going around, we have just these kind of, I guess, stands or something. I don't know, but we see them throughout the whole outer interior. And then we also have these clips, and this connects to the other side of this part of the junk shop. And so we can just connect it, and it all becomes one big thing. Just like so. And then turning it around, we have more of this nice curvature with much detail throughout all the walls, and we got just some nice stuff going on here. We got this giant water vaporator. It actually can connect if you want it to maybe sit over here or something, just to mix it up, or if where you want to put it isn't as wide as this, you can just get some of that extra side or extra length out of the way, and you can also get some of the extra length out of the way with this. So this is kind of a continuation of the junk shop, as you can see, like this. Let's see, there's a wrench in there, and then in here we have some binoculars, and then just some more random junk throughout. But you can pull this entire thing out if you want, and that gets rid of about 6 or so studs, so that if you do indeed decide that you need it's too wide, you can then just pull this out and maybe put it off to the side or something. But yeah, and then it's just 2 Technic pins that just line up together and go into the main build. Over here we have the kind of just back door entrance for the wooher, the bartender. So yeah, and same door, just slides up and locks into place. You can see a little bit of just I guess sand or greebling, just to show that this door isn't maintained as well. And then going around the back, very uninteresting, you can see the pin or the hinges that open this whole thing up. Got another water vapor that also disconnects if you so wish. And then over here we have the do-back pen. So of course we have this little pen thing, so you can have your do-back enclosed. So if the stormtroopers can put them up here, and they can go in there and interrogate all the civilians. But you can see he's got some water and a bone in there, and then just like the one in the back, this one can also pull out to have make it a little more narrow if that's what your display requires. And yeah, that comes full circle in terms of the exterior. So now let's take a look at the interior. The entire cantina is held together with 2 Technic pins that keeps it in this nice shape. But of course, if you want to play with it, you just have to take off this nice little top that's very cool, and not very necessary, but I definitely think kind of completes the look when it's all together. And then just pull this apart and you have it all opened up. So very cool. So over here we have the bar, or the bar, and you got the different drink dispensers and stuff. In the back here we have drawers and I guess the cash register, and looks like got a bone in there, and yeah, just some drinks and whatnot. And you can of course take your wooher minifigure and put them in the back, have them serving the drinks to all the people. And also this just kind of opens up the space for more play, I guess. Over here on the left, on the right, sorry, we have the kind of stand for the musicians. So you can put one in the back, maybe. Oh, he dropped his instrument. If we can get him in the back. All right, well, we'll just put 2 in the front and call it good. But yeah, put them right here, and then you can put a 3rd guy in the back to round it out. And then over here on the right, we have one of the set of seats. This one is actually for Han Solo and Greedo, so you can line them up. So put Greedo on here, and then put Han Solo on the other side. I don't know where the Han Solo minifigure went. But, all right, I found him. So you can take him, have them line up their guns or whatever, sit in the seats. Another thing you can do is everything up here, I kind of forgot to mention this, you can just lift up the tops to get much more ease of getting these minifigures in. So there we go. And we can reclose it. And then on the back side of this, we also have these little clips, or these little Technic bins right here, 1 and 2, and you can just use them to make them go flying. So yeah, very cool play feature. And then over here we have 2 more just random seats, as well as in the back, kind of hard to see, get that light in there, but we have 2 more seats for some minifigures. And then you also have this really cool, like, kind of custom corner roof piece. And then right here we have part of the stairs, and so when you're connected with the other side, right here we have some more stairs, and they kind of connect up to the actual cantina part. But yeah, taking a look at the other side, it's much more boring and uninteresting. We just have 3 sets of seats, all very boring, and then we have one just table out here. They're all pretty much just copy and pasted, except this one back here, we got like more of, like, it's kind of hard to see, but like some benches instead of, and then they all have windows. Whoops. All right. And then over here, hard to see, so we'll do our best. We'll actually lift this up to get some of the light, but you can kind of see that there's some waiting room benches, and then also this, which I can't really pull out, but it is the droid scanner that detects the droids. So yeah, and then that's just the back side of the door. So lots of room to close minifigures in. And then the last little spot I did kind of forget to mention is back here we kind of just have a spot for Wooher to get the drinks and whatnot ready. So yeah, just a little supply closet, I guess. But yeah, that is essentially it. All the minifigures, all 21 of them, fit perfectly inside of this. And yeah, very cool set. And again, retiring at the end of this year, so you should probably pick it up if you don't have one, and if you have any interest in getting this, because I have a feeling this will go quite a bit up in value once it retires. So yeah. Anyways, with that, subscribe, like, and yeah, just see you next time.